The Philadelphia Eagles made a slightly surprising move to start this week, parting ways with 29-year-old linebacker Zach Brown. Now, the move, of course, came just days after his comments about Kirk Cousins and play on the field, which really didn't exactly resemble what the Eagles were looking for. But the fact remains he ranked third on the team in tackles, and it's a significant loss to take, especially if Nigel Bradham is indeed battling injury. So the question then becomes, who steps up? And they've promoted Alex Singleton off the practice squad, and we can assume naturally that guys like Nate Jerry, grugier-hill, and even former Falcons linebacker Duke Riley will all see a boost in snap counts. But there's one man I really want to draw attention to here, and that's former undrafted free agent T.J Edwards, who in his rookie year has only played in 14 snaps so far, but he's making the most of them. Is he going to be a bona fide starter this year? It's probably way too soon to even hypothesize about that. We can at least look at his play against the Vikings to try and understand what he brings to the table and just how high his ceiling really is. So without further ado, my name is Liam Jenkins, and this is an episode of Eagles Film Room. Before we get into it though guys, as always, make sure you leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. We want to build the biggest base of Philadelphia sports fans possible, and we would love for you to be a part of it. And don't forget to get your daily dose of Philadelphia sports coverage from phillysportsnetwork.com. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that his first snaps of the game came in the fourth quarter when the game was mostly out of reach, so we could see some skewed formations and tactics and that sort of thing. But either way, we've got to give credit where credit is due. And I want to start actually with what was widely considered a weakness here for Edwards. He came out of college with a 4.77 40-yard dash time, and sideline to sideline speed is always something that's evaded him. But here he picks up a running back out of the flat and goes stride for stride. It is not the most athletic play you'll ever see, but it's the fact that he's got everything else outside of that. He keeps his head up, remains light on his feet so he can kind of burst down to the target if needed, which is exactly what happens. Now, Rodney McLeod kind of cuts him off here, so he has to step away, but for the most part, that's what you want to see. It's only something subtle, but I think Edwards brings a lot more to the table than the athletic profile. So he may have a slight deficiency in terms of speed, he more than makes up for it. Just take a look at this play here. He's going to be the backside pursuing linebacker. You're going to see a 22 personnel formation. Edwards has to contain here if the run does go his way. He reads it well, and look at the adjustment to take a strong tackling angle. You watch a play like that and you're immediately reminded of that preseason game against the New York Jets, where he traded blow for blow with Alex Singleton, notching well over 10 tackles and being a menace against running backs. It's just the angle, it's the adjustment of the pad level, squaring up his shoulders and bringing down the running back nice and safely. It's all you could ask for. This is one of my favourite plays though. There's a lot of motion pre-snap. The Vikings are going to try and pull their guard on the trap play. Now, Edwards sees this, and of course he has to now make an adjustment. Does he go straight down the A-gap where the hole initially opens, or does he sit back? He sees the guard pulling. He looks straight past the fact that that running back could be going north, and instead begins to scrape over the top, sifting through traffic, waiting, and then comes in to make the tackle. That's a tough play to make. We've seen even Nate Jerry get stuck in these situations where he falls a bit too hard or shoots the gap prematurely. We're not seeing that from T.J Edwards, and that's a really mature play. So again, it's a small sample size, but it's at least something to be encouraged by. There's a similar example here in play action. We saw in the last film room, if you caught that, where linebackers were dropping way too deep and leaving a wide open space over the middle. It takes Edwards just one step. He doesn't quite have the speed to get back there, but he does make the tackle, and it's that reaction time, it's making the throw a little bit harder. Another of my favourite plays from Edwards against the Vikings was this one. There's a lot of pre-snap motion again, 22 personnel, and Edwards here is on the outside shoulder of that lead blocker, so he's got to wait. He picks that up perfectly, engages with such force, he pushes him back into the hole and then gets to the running back. That is a tricky play to make if you watch him here. It's just a very instinctive play because you know that that lead back, the running back, are going to fall between those two linebackers. He takes a wider angle to compensate, hits the fullback so hard, and then makes a tackle. It's just a combination of everything you could want. As opposed to seeing guys like Nigel Bradham and Nate Jerry maybe miss their gaps or get picked up and shuffled out of the play, we're seeing the opposite here from Edwards. There's a situation in man coverage, he gets pushed outside, and he's got to disengage this block, gets his arms up underneath, and then drives down into the tackle. That sort of instinct is what the Eagles are craving right now. Now, I'm not going to be be sat here pounding the table for TJ Edwards to come out and start right away. But if we're late into the game and you need a linebacker to step up and make a play, I think that he would probably give you a little bit more upside over someone like Nate Jerry. You've got Camu speed on one side. I think we'd see a much better performance from Edwards if you have him at the Mike linebacker spot where he can funnel his way through traffic, sift through, scrape over the top if needed. That's where he's going to feel most at home, where he won't be reliant on speed, which is his real lone weakness here. So if he sits at Mike linebacker in place of Nigel Bradham, that will be where I feel he'd be most comfortable, but only time will tell. What do you think, guys? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. As always, hit that subscribe button, and from myself, Liam Jenkins, I'll see you next time.